Hi guys, James at RampantLionReviews again for you today with another beer review. For this one we are going to head over to Colorado in America once again. As we know, a very good beer state, and this time we are going to return to Fort Collins. So it's a second visit to New Belgium Brewing Company, and today we're having a taste of their Citradelic IPA. So this one is a tangerine IPA and it comes in at 6% ABV. And as you'll know if you've watched my channel before, I really love the Amarillo hop from America, the Pacifica hop from New Zealand of course, and the Mandarina Bavaria. I love these IPAs that are very orange leaning, so this one should be right up my street. But it comes in at 6%, rated 89 overall on Rate Beer, 81 within the style, so it should be a pretty nice beer. And we know that New Belgium Brewing Company, these guys are a really quite established American craft brewery, so looking forward to trying this one. And a huge thank you to my flatmate Stephen for bringing this one over from America when he was home at Christmas time. So really looking forward to this one, and I hope you guys all enjoy the review. But anyway, as is usual with my beer reviews then, I'll tell you a little bit about the brewery. If you want to get straight to the tasting, just fast forward. All the usual links are in the description below. That's the brewery website, the link to my other reviews from New Belgium, and hopefully I'll add more in the near future. Of course, there's all the usual social media. If you want to see more beer reviews, do subscribe to the channel. The whole channel of course uses a geography based tagging system, so you can go into the homepage and search for beer based on country, city or state, whatever it is you're interested in. Do check out the playlist of beers from different countries. There is one there for all my American beers that I've done. There's some whiskey and sake reviews and stuff like that you can check out as well. And as always, please do get in touch and let me know some of the other beers and breweries that you guys would like to see me review, especially if you're watching in Colorado. But your support and your input to the channel is always hugely appreciated. It's always great to hear from you guys, so as I say, do get in touch and check out all the social media and things like that. So anyway, to tell you a little bit about New Belgium Brewery then, so as I mentioned to you, these guys are based in Fort Collins in Colorado, and they were founded in 1991 by husband and wife team Jeff LeBeche and Kim Jordan. Jeff had actually been an avid home brewer for a number of years, but like many, he decided that he wanted to turn professional. So today the brewery are well known for their eco-friendly business practices, and they also are known for the fact that they're 100% employee owned. They actually started a stock scheme for their employees back in 2000, and then the brewery became wholly employee owned in 2013. All of their electricity comes from wind power, and they also use energy efficient Steinecker kettles for their boils as well, so a very kind of green company this one. But they've also been credited as one of the best places to work in America by various independent bodies, and today the brewery is actually the third largest craft brewery and the 7th largest overall brewery in the United States. So the main brewery is in Fort Collins, and this one actually employs over 800 people, and it produces about 700,000 barrels of beer per year. And as of 2014, they were actually establishing a second brewery in Asheville, North Carolina, which will produce another 500,000 barrels of beer per year once it's operating at full tilt. So a really quite impressive company. I actually didn't know until I tried my first beer from these guys, which was the Fat Tire. I didn't know that they were such a kind of such a prominent craft brewery in America. Actually, I just saw this beer in the can from New Belgium. I thought, oh, that's a different brewery, I'll try this one, and then I learned it's a very big brewery. We don't often see the New Belgium beers back home in Scotland, but for some reason we do get this one and a lot of different Colorado beers here in Sweden. So yeah, always interesting to try new beers from new breweries. As I say, just to list a few different beers you can get from these guys in their core range, they've got the Fat Tire, which I mentioned a minute ago. That's an amber ale, their flagship beer of course. There's the Ranger IPA, the Rampant Imperial IPA, the Shift Pale Lager, Sunshine Wheat, 1554 Black Lager, Blue Pedal Pilsner, Abbey Belgian Ale, and also the Triple Belgian Style Ale as well. So that's their main range of beers. They do have various other things and stuff that come out seasonally, so you can check out the brewery website in the description below and see all the different things that are coming out from New Belgium Brewery. They're quite prolific from what I understand as well, and you would expect that with them being one of the larger craft breweries over in America these days. But anyway, that's enough about the brewery just now. Let's get on to the tasting of this beer. So just to tell you a little bit about this one itself, this one is a 6% IPA. It's hopped with Nugget, Crystal, Centennial, Azaka, Cascade, Citra, Chinook, Mandarina Bavaria, and also Simcoe hops, and it's got a malt base of pale and caramel 120 malts. It's got an addition of some tangerine infused orange peel as well to the brew, so it should be a really quite nice beer. Very impressive hop bill that's on this one actually, a lot of different hops in there. The Azaka of course was one that I hadn't really heard of before. That's an American hop. It's descended from I think Northern Brewer and Summit, and also a Midori hop, which is from Japan actually, that was very popular with Asahi. And this hop is interesting. It's supposed to give you some really nice kind of tropical fruit notes and things, so you're always learning as a craft brewer. I had to go and look up that hop, and It's always interesting to learn new things about the beers, of course. So let me just bring up the camera and let you have a little look at the artwork on this one before we open it up, and then we'll get it out and into the glass. So there you can see, really quite nicely presented, this one. I really like the artwork on that, and you can see the orange just within the hop flowers. That is really cool. So I might steam the label off this one and keep it. There you can see the new Belgium Brewery bottle cap on this. So yeah, nicely presented beer. You can see on the back as well, as I was saying, a very green company. This is one of the environmental campaigns that must be going on over in the US just now. So really nicely presented, this beer. There you can see one of these little bands in the glasswork as well. That's a very Belgian thing to do. So really nicely done, this one. So without further ado, let's get this guy open and we'll get on with the tasting then. So yeah, nice smoky opening on this beer. I tell you something, it really does smell. It's very tropically and orange, this one. I have to admit, it's something that does surprise me about this beer actually, when they're calling it a tangerine IPA. I'm really surprised that they didn't use the likes of Amarillo from America and Pacifica from New Zealand as well, because those are the hops that are always really known for giving you these big orangey flavours. So I'm quite surprised at that, but we'll see how it turns out. So as you can see, this beer actually is poured quite a rich, kind of golden amber. It's actually leaning towards the lighter side of the amber kind of things, but looks very, very nice. If you can see, if I put my fingers behind this, it is crystal clear. There's a half finger of a frothy white head. We've probably poured about 2/3 of the bottle into this glass here, but it looks very nice. The head is a really white foamy thing on this one. There's some big bubbles sticking towards the side of the glass, but quite a few little ones just going up towards the bottom of the head there. But overall, it looks like a really nice beer. Kind of what you'd expect from an IPA, of course, but crystal clear, looks very nice. So let's have a closer look at the aroma on this one then. So yeah, as you'd expect with this, it's really just a big fruit bowl of a beer, this. But it definitely leans towards the orangey sort of thing. So obviously the fruity side of the aroma is dominated by oranges. You can smell a little bit of the juicier, but also sharper tangerine in there. There's a bit of grapefruit underneath, definitely some grapefruit, and you can pick up a little bit of the passion fruit. The passion fruit, of course, will be coming from the Simcoe. The grapefruit, of course, will likely be from the Cascade. But you can get a little bit of the lighter tropical notes as well. To me, it smells like there's a little bit of pineapple and things in there. Yeah, definitely a little bit of pineapple note coming out of this one. There's a little bit of the lighter tropical fruits that you would expect as well. That, of course, comes from the Citra. But there's a nice little bit of a floral character underneath. You can smell just a little bit of a floral piney note in this beer as well. Maybe some lighter grassy notes, but it really does just smell like a kind of tropical fruit juice, this beer. Smells like the tropical fruit juice I used to get out the supermarket and drink with my breakfast, to be honest with you. Really is quite a nice smelling beer. You can't smell much from the malt base in this one, just a little bit of a sort of biscuity and kind of pale malt thing from it. But you know, it smells like a really nice beer. You could mistake this easily in a blind smelling for just a kind of tropical fruit juice, like I say. But really nice smelling beer. Leans towards the oranges, this one, definitely, as you'd expect when it's a tangerine IPA. So without further ado then, let's get stuck into this beer. So this one is the Citradelic, a tangerine IPA from New Belgium Brewing Company in Fort Collins, Colorado. Slàinte. That's pretty nice. You know, this beer, just on first impression, it's not one of these IPAs that's absolutely going to blow your head with hoppy bitterness. This one is more of a juicy, kind of nice, sweet IPA. And I have to admit, I do like that change of pace. Not everything has to be big and just blast you with bitterness. This one really is quite nicely done. It just blends together really well. I do remember the Fat Tire being like that as well. It wasn't kind of big and aggressive with the hops. Or the malts indeed. It was more just about how the flavours blended together. That is really nice, that. I do like it, definitely. If you enjoy the kind of orangey leaning IPAs, and if you do actually enjoy the sort of hop flavours you get from New Zealand beers, actually, this is one that probably is going to suit you down to the ground. It definitely has that really juicy but quite light fruity character about it that the New Zealand beers have. So you could, in a blind tasting, maybe mistake this for being a New Zealand IPA or something like that. But a really nice beer, this. Yeah, so let's have a closer look at the flavour then. As I say, you always have to let your palate adjust to the beer and just sugar it around your mouth a little bit before you analyse the flavour too much. So with this one, I'd say it definitely is leaning towards the oranges, there's no two doubts about that. But the malt base in this one is very simple, so you've got a little bit of pale malt in there, it's got that little bit of kind of white, slightly bready character about it. That just goes right across the middle of your tongue, but is right in the centre of your palate. There's a little bit of a kind of slightly biscuity, caramelly, grainy thing going on in this beer. So it is really quite a simple and quite nice malt base, but that suits the fruity side of the beer. The hoppy side, of course, is what's the interesting thing with this one. So on the sides of your palate, for me, it really is quite a nice, just light floral character. You can definitely pick up the traits of the Mandarina Bavaria in this one. It's always really interesting. It has this juicy orange character to it, but the floral character is distinctly German. It's got that noble hop, just that light floral note in it. There's a tiny, tiny little bit of soft, earthy character at the back corners of your palate. As you come further forward, you feel that slightly floral and just very slightly herbal character in the beer as well. And as you go round the front curve of your palate, it's just light and grassy. You know, it's the classic traits of these German noble hops coming out of this one. And of course, in addition to that, you've got these lovely fruity characters. So just behind the front curve of the tongue, that's where you get that little oily bubble where all these fruity esters start to come out. So with this one, as you'd expect, it really does lean towards the oranges. You can get that slightly sharper and almost kind of it's sharp at the same time, but it just feels a little bit lighter and less oily. That's the tangerine flavours coming out. You can feel some of the orange notes just underneath that, but there's definitely more to this beer than that. I'm getting a little bit of passion fruit in there. The grapefruit that I was picking up in the aroma doesn't come out so much in this one, but for me there's definitely some passion fruit in there. A sort of mangoey note. The mangoes will be coming from the citra, I think. Maybe even a little bit of peach or pineapple in there as well. But definitely there are other tropical fruits in there rather than just simply oranges and tangerines. But I think it's fair to say that the tangerine flavours really do dominate this one, as you would expect. But you can feel a little bit around the edge of your palate as well, the addition that the orange peel has. As I always say, when you add fruit to a brew, it comes out on the edge of your palate, which is where you get more of the floral characters. That's always where that's what I find is the kind of defining characteristic of when you add fruit to the brew, rather than get the flavours from the kind of oil extract of the hop. The oil extract fruits always come out in that little oily bubble I'm talking about behind the front curve of your tongue. So for me, with this one, I can definitely pick up that sort of tangerine, that kind of orange peel flavour around the edge of the palate too. But that starts to come out for me more in the aftertaste. When you're actually just getting used to the beer, it really is those kind of slightly, those nice noble hop characters, which I do reckon is from the Mandarina Bavaria. That's what's really coming out. And then as you progress into the aftertaste, I'm finding the beer becomes a lot more kind of juicy and fruity. And it does lean, you've got the tangerines there just underpinning the beer with the oranges, but then you start to get the other tropical notes, the sort of Simcoe, the passion fruity notes, a little bit of the kind of mango from the citra, and a little bit of peachy kind of pineapple thing going on in there as well. Some of these notes will of course be from the Azaka, but I don't know that hop too well to kind of to identify, but I do guess some of the pineapple-y flavours will be coming from that one. But this is really nice. So in terms of this IPA, I would recommend this to people who like the nice juicy, the sort of lighter juicy ones and less hop aggressiveness from your IPAs. This one is definitely more of a kind of nice hot day, juicy, kind of just fruity, easy drinking beer, this one. You'd never guess this was 6% actually. You'd probably think it's a little bit lighter than that. But a really quite nice and just easy drinking fruity beer, this one. So if you get the chance to try it, I do recommend that you do. This one's definitely for fans of like the Amarillo, the Pacifica and the Mandarina Bavaria hop. Of course it only has the latter in it, but if you like your nice orange flavoured IPAs, this is one that you are definitely going to enjoy. But it does have a good bit of complexity to it. I'm picking out some of the other tropical fruits, like I said, in the tasting, but a really quite nice beer, this one. I certainly wouldn't hesitate to drink this one again, and I can see why Stephen liked this one, of course. But in terms of the mouthfeel, I'd say this beer is quite light bodied actually. You know, it's got a moderate carbonation, It's a little bit oily as well, and that does suit the fruity character that the beer has. There's a little bit of hoppy bitterness, but overall I do find the hops to be really quite smooth in this one. There's a lot of juicy fruit character to the beer, and the malt base is quite smooth. There's just a little bit of sweetness to it, but overall, like I said, it really is quite a nice beer, definitely for those that enjoy orange flavours in their IPAs. So yeah, if that's your thing, definitely check this one out. I've really enjoyed tasting this one for you, and once again a huge thank you to Stephen for actually bringing this beer over from America for me. So yeah, and thank you once again for watching my beer reviews. I hope you've enjoyed this one. Until the next time, please like, subscribe, share, all the usual YouTube stuff. Do check out all my social media as well. Let me know your own thoughts on this beer in the comment section below, and let me know what other beers you would like me to have a look at from New Belgium Brewery as well. It's always cool to try more beers from the kind of breweries that you've already done before, but this one, like I say, really is a lovely orange beer, which is, as you'd expect, it really is right up my street, this one. As I say, I enjoy the Amarillo, the Pacifica and the Mandarin and Bavaria hops, so if those are your things, definitely check out this one. But this one was the Citradelic from New Belgium Brewing Company, a really nice kind of easy drinking IPA. So if you get the chance, give this one a go, and as I say, get in touch and let me know some of the other New Belgium beers that you guys would like to see me review. Until the next time, Slange just now, make sure you try some of the New Belgium beers if you haven't already. Cheers.